Welcome to the SCLD podcast, where we talk about all the things you can do and find at the library.
Hello, I am Erin Dodge, the Communication Specialist here at SCLD, and with me today is Jill Nunemaker, the Development Manager, also here with the library, and we're talking about something pretty cool, and it's called Library Giving Day, and we're going to talk about what that is, and we hope you get interested and how you can get involved for everybody who's watching and listening. So let's get into it. Welcome here, Jill.
Thank you, Erin, for that warm introduction. Happy to be here today.
Good. So tell us what Library Giving Day is and how it got started.
Well, Library Giving Day is super excited. Anybody who has a social media account or went to university or has a favorite nonprofit knows that each nonprofit has their day of giving, let's say.
Yeah.
So if you graduated from a university, you're probably spammed once a year.
At least,
you know.
The alumni email.
The alumni email,
Yeah.
like today's WSU Day, please give. Or if you love cats, we were just chatting about cats. So cats, I'm sure the Humane Society or SPCA has their own day.
Right.
So several years back, at the International Library Fundraising Conference, our peers got together and said, well, why don't we have our own day of giving to help bolster support around the United States and Canada to give to libraries?
Yes.
We should have our own day of giving. And that has just really sprung forth. And every year there's more libraries that are being added to that day of giving.
Right. And most libraries are running on like government funds, taxes, or maybe there's they're public. So they're not usually, they're funded to operate, but any kind of perks or special things, that money has to come somewhere else usually.
That is correct. Yes. Most libraries are publicly funded libraries, regardless of what state you're in. So be it a municipal library or a county library, there's some sort of funds that are coming in from the public, from the government side. And here at SCLD, we're funded through property tax dollars.
Property tax, yes.
That come in, but that only pays for operations.
Right.
That pays for my salary, that pays for our collections. It pays to keep the lights on.
Right.
So
all the maintenance.
All the
staff
Yes.
salaries and all that stuff that has to go into any kind of operation.
Yes, but here in Washington State in particular, there's a lot of restrictions on what those funds can go towards. So some of these extras and some of these things that make SCLD so special has to come from
And
privately funded
that's
dollars.
where Library Giving Day comes in.
Library Giving Day comes in.
Wonderful. Perfect. And we have usually every year we have a specific goal, and we have one this year. You want to talk a little bit about it? And I do also want to emphasize we're thoughtful about what our Library Giving Day goal is, and we want it to affect as much of the community as it can. Mm-hmm. So why don't you talk us to that?
Thank you. That's the perfect way to introduce Library Giving Day and how we approach it here at the Spokane County Library District. So starting in, let's say about September or October every year, our development director, Jane Baker, and myself will get together and we'll inquire with our head librarians as well as leadership team, where do you see the greatest need in our community for upcoming Library Giving Day? So every year we don't just fundraise during the month of April for any old thing. This doesn't go into like a restricted fund with the Library Foundation. It's always a specific campaign dedicated to where we see the greatest need in that upcoming year for our community. Right. And this year we're fundraising for summer reading program prizes for kids. And it's not even, they don't even have to, it's not even prizes. They don't have to even complete, they just need to register and they will get a book in hand. So,
and I think this is an important distinction. Like prizes are good too for people who complete summer reading and do the whole challenge. But this idea is giving kids a book up front.
Yes.
And it's their book and they have it and they can read it all summer. They can keep it forever. Mm-hmm. So it's giving every kid who registers for summer reading a book.
Correct.
And so that's, and it aligns perfectly with the library and our love of reading and literacy, and what a great campaign.
Oh, it's fabulous. So last year we had 900 registrants under the age of 18 for our summer reading program. About, let's see here, 2/3 of those were active throughout the summer, and we had about 250, 300 that actually finished the program. It's important, though, that they don't necessarily have to finish the program. We just want to get books into the hands of children, especially with the dreaded summer slide that occurs throughout the summer, where children tend to lose a lot of their reading comprehension and reading knowledge and reading ability throughout the summer. So studies have shown that children who live with a household of books or have a book of their own, not just books that they can check out, but a book of their own, that from low-income families, by having that book or books, by owning it for those children, those kids actually, it increases their knowledge, or they don't lose their knowledge as much as children who don't have that. So it increases their knowledge or maintains it by 25%.
Nice.
Compared to kids who don't have that.
Right.
So,
and then, if I think there's a key element here as a parent, and you're a parent as well, is if you're seeing your child reading, you're like, oh, they like reading. And so that might encourage a parent to say, oh, yeah, we can go to the library this weekend and find some more books you might like to read. And the library is free. So all you need is your card. And so I think that's great that we're giving them a book to start out summer reading. And that way they can, just really have fun with it, read it, enjoy it. And the parents see that interest. And I think it's going to help summer reading just bloom this year.
Oh, I think so. And that's a great way to put it. Have summer reading bloom. I love that. I love that tagline. And that's so true, Erin. That's a great point. And one thing that I think will make summer reading program, books for children, right after they register, so important and so unique, is the fact that we'll have books for kids in separate age groups.
Oh, for sure.
So high schoolers can choose what titles will have a small section for them, as well as, kiddos who are toddlers.
And those tween areas.
The tween areas, exactly. So there will be a good selection.
The picture book will have all ages, 0 to up to 18.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And what makes this so unique and so important that we'd like to offer this to our community, the communities that we serve this summer, is the fact that there really isn't any organizations here locally that do that. There's 2 organizations that do provide books to children, but it's really specific. One of them provides books for kids ages 5 and under, so that those years between 5 and 17, they really don't have access to that one program. The other program that we have locally is very school focused.
Sure.
So they go onto campuses and hand out free books, which is great, but their kids might not be at school that day. There might be some other barrier to entry. They could be homeschooled. So this is wonderful that this is specifically, all you have to do is be a county resident, sign up for summer reading program, and get your book. So,
That's great.
The latest issue of Engage is here. Inside, you'll find programs and resources for all ages and a wide variety of interests. Explore creative topics that spark the imagination. Find programs for health and wellness, financial education, gardening, and more. Hear from best-selling authors. Bring young children to weekly story times. See our STEM programs for kids. Discover digital resources that can help you pick up a new hobby and explore topics for personal and professional growth. Pick up your copy of Engage at any of our libraries or flip through the digital version today on our website at scld.org.
So let's talk about the Library Foundation of Spokane County.
Great.
And it's a nonprofit, and it's the behind Library Unity. They're the ones that are raising the money. Tell us a bit about the foundation, what they do, and how people can get involved with the foundation.
So the foundation was formed in 2021, and since then it's grown subsequently every year. It has spearheaded our Spokane Valley Library Capital campaign. It's worked with librarians to help be the backer for grants. It helps provide those private, be them individual or organizational donations, a vehicle for that. Because a lot of places our individuals want to give to a 501c3.
Sure.
And even though the library district is a government entity, some donations are tax deductible. But a lot of places, especially if you're applying for grants, want a 501c3. And that's really where the Library Foundation comes in. There's also a strong outreach and community engagement focused with the Library Foundation. Currently has 7 board members who are leaders throughout our community in various or different professions. So there's kind of a broad swath of input and ideas that come in via the foundation board members, and we're looking to expand that as well up to potentially 9 or 11 board members.
So there could be some room on the board for folks.
Correct. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. So we're looking for professionals to come in and apply to join our board. So it's a lot of fun, and it's for a great cause.
I'm going to put a plug in for the URL. So if you're looking at the Library Foundation of Spokane County and you want to learn more about it, go to supportscld.org, and that is the foundation. What a wonderful URL. Just exactly what it is.
Support SCLD. It's super easy to remember. Yes.
Yeah. So, and there's all kinds of information about what the board or what the foundation does, who the board is, the different giving campaigns that are happening right now, ways to give, including Library Giving Day. You'll be able to go on and see about that and how to donate for that.
Yes.
And just all kinds of good information.
Yes. So thank you for that, Erin.
Of course.
And
the link will be below. So
it will. Oh, it will. Okay.
Yeah. We'll
Awesome.
put link in the description. No problem.
And if you're a community member that loves your library and you want to donate to that, that specific library, we can do that.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So if I'm up in Deer Park and I really want to support Deer Park Library, that's my library. I can donate just for Deer Park.
You can do that and specify, I just want this to go towards Deer Park. So we have a line item that goes
right on the form on the foundation.
You can do that.
website.
We prefer unrestricted funds so they can have the greatest good, the greatest impact, go all around the county. But if that's something, or if you're like, I love telescopes. I love sewing. I'd like to donate. I heard about this program,
the Library of Things.
The Library of Things. I'd like to donate to that.
Yes.
Or if you had a great Aunt Josephine who loved the sciences or the arts, you can donate specifically to a program or books that we have that are themed or a special subject to a loved one. So that's always something that
you can specify specific things or areas that you want to help support. And you can also just give and say, I love the library, just use my funds as best as they'll be used.
Yes, to serve the greater good. Yes, absolutely.
All the community, all the Spokane County.
And it doesn't matter the amount.
Sure.
So it can be whatever's a meaningful amount to you. We are so happy and grateful for all of the donations that we receive. We truly are. We love our donors.
Wonderful.
So.
Well, just an example, my son, we had a yard sale, and he was really interested in supporting folks who had survived the fires, right? So he was selling like lemonade and cookies and things. And everything he made, we did to the Red Cross for the fires. So it's like, that's the kind of that idea. If you have a specific goal in mind for the library, like I really like STEM and STEM learning. So I would like to donate, this amount for STEM programs at the library. That's perfectly fine.
That's great.
That'll reach a lot
we're
of
happy
kids,
to
actually.
Facilitate that for you. Yeah, exactly. It's really the donor's wishes.
Yeah.
So we're happy to help you envision where you'd like to have the most impact and where you want your funds to go. Absolutely. Yeah. So for us, though, Library Giving Day is the big fundraiser.
And we haven't talked about when it is.
Yeah.
So that's important. It's April 3rd is all days Library Giving Day. But what if folks, April 3rd passes and they're like, oops, I didn't give it on April 3rd. I wanted to give a donation, but I forgot.
So if it's April 12th, typically we have like a 3 to 4 week span of time where all donations that come in, unless they're restricted, like we were just talking about, unless you specify like in the comments or somewhere on your donation, I'd like this to go to this other fund. So all donations for that 3-4 week period typically go towards the
So if you're a little early,
a little early, a little late, that's okay. We got you covered. We got you covered. We'll make sure those donations go towards getting books in the hands.
Because if you're changing hands April 1st and you're like, I got to get this money to them now before I spend it, you can do that.
Yes, please include us in a byline in your budget. We would be most appreciative.
Or if you get paid on the 15th or something like that, like you're not too late. You can donate still.
Absolutely.
And affect Library Giving Day and summer reading and get those books into kids' hands.
Yes, and every year the Library Foundation has been great. We've been working with Gwendolyn Haley, who's bubbly and vivacious and kind of spearheads.
She's been on the podcast many times.
Yes. So we've worked with Gwendolyn every year. The Library Foundation has to come up with prizes, some fun prizes for each of the libraries.
Right.
So specific community members who signed up there, that's their local library, could potentially win a prize, a raffle prize. But this year, we'd really like to focus on getting books in the hands of children, and we might still have prizes.
Okay.
Prizes won't go away. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Books are better.
But this is really the focus because there's such a huge need in our community for that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. So are there any other projects, campaigns that you and or the foundation are working on that you want to plug in while we're here?
Well, we have a big campaign that the building that we're in right now is part of that, actually.
Actually,
so, the STCU studio.
For the STCU's donation. Help pay for
this. Yeah, and that's been an absolutely wonderful partnership working with STCU on sponsoring the studio. So we are still fundraising for that, for the Spokane Valley Capital Campaign.
And what kind of things? I know we have the Diane Hand Community Room, so that's been sponsored. Yes. This space has been sponsored. I know there's been some other sponsorships around. But what's available and what can folks sponsor here at the Spokane Valley Library?
That's a great question, Erin. So we have our meeting rooms here that are just along the back wall here, right next to the studio, and they're fabulous spaces. So right now they're just labeled A, B, C, D, but for qualified sponsorship, you can have your business's name promoting one of our mini meeting rooms, and we're open. I believe that's 7 days a week, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So it's highly visible sponsorship. Even on Sundays.
1-5.
Yes. So we're open 7 days a week here at Spokane Valley. So there's a lot of visibility with the sponsorship of one of our rooms.
Do you have a green thumb? Are you new to gardening? No matter your skill level, every season is gardening season at the library. We have an extensive collection of gardening books and online resources that can plant the seeds for new ideas and help you cultivate your indoor and outdoor projects. We also have seed libraries. Our Take and Give seed libraries are currently accepting donations of vegetable, herb, and flower seeds. Bring your heirloom seeds into a library to share with other gardeners for spring planting. Learn more today at SCLD.org.
And I've been thinking about the sponsorship. I was thinking about sponsorship the other day, and I was thinking about community spaces. And I think what sponsorship especially in a library does for a business is it shows that you are proud of and part of your community as a business, and you support your whole community. You're not just about making money.
Yeah.
You're about I got so excited I moved my mic. You're about the whole community, and having that sponsorship show to people who use library every day proves it. Right? Mm-hmm. I think it's a wonderful way to show that.
It is. It really is. Yeah. And that's kind of one of our top level sponsorships that we still have available. There's still trees in the garden and the plaza still available.
Oh, the pavers too.
And the pavers, yes. And the pavers, you can get a paver engraved for $500 outside in our plaza. What's great about that is that's visible 24/7. So if the library is closed, and once they expand Balfour Park, if they have an event there and say the library is closed, you can we'll have community members, out there sitting on the bench that can see their engraved paper.
Yeah.
And it is a big chunky paper. So this isn't like a teeny tiny brick or anything that's like 2x3. This is like a 12 by 12.
A business can buy a paper, a family can buy a paper, an individual, a group, an organization, and you can, there's a character limit because the papers are really so big you can't write a novel on a paper. But you can still, memorialize a loved one, a pet, just say we live libraries, whatever you can do. It's your paper, no profanity, obviously. All ages are out there. But other than that, what a wonderful way to help support the library. And then we were talking about some benches. Did you say a tree?
Yes. So you can sponsor a tree, and that'll be visible as well because that's
Nice.
outside. So even when we're closed, that's visible. Same with our garden areas and our plaza and the children's area and technology area. So there's even sections that are available for sponsorship too.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is amazing. It really is. And you're leaving a legacy, building a legacy. You're letting the community know your value system as well. It's highly visible marketing for you, either as an individual or as a business. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I just had read, this is going to be so big because I'm not remembering details, but it was like a health organization saying that libraries are vital to community health, which is true. I agree, 100%. But I was just like, oh, that's amazing that it's being recognized, that, having access to resources, knowledge, help, support, books, all of that is really actually vital to community health, the health of the community. So
it really is, and creating a vibrant community, a place for civic discourse and knowledge. So it's really the principles that we were founded on, really. I think a library embodies that more so than any other institution I can think of right now. So
wonderful. Okay, Jill, this has been great, amazing. I am so excited for Library Giving Day. I hope you are excited at home for Library Giving Day, and whatever you can give, any amount is appreciated to help get books into the hands of all the kids in the county that register for summer reading. And you can go to support.scld.org and find that there. And thank you for watching and listening, and thank you, Jill. And hope you have a great day.
Thanks for having me, Erin. I appreciate it.
All right.